Well, you saw the picture. Here we are again. Broke down. Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, we're kind of in a rush because it's going to be hard to do any filming much in the afternoons anymore. It's Monday, November the 6th. Time changed yesterday, so you know we're looking at 5:45, 6 o'clock, and it's going to be dark, and it's already like 4:15. So I'm going to run down here and spread these couple loads of dirt out and that trash that I hauled off in a previous video. I'm not going to bore you with that. It was ironic, I had a memory come up on Facebook today where I brought home the hay wagon frame. It was a year ago today, so I'm hopefully going to hook that up and get it drug up here, or at least over closer to the pile where I can get the wood off of it, bring you along for a little bit of that, and the venture on getting started. I'm making that a header trailer for my Gleaner combine. Stay tuned. Well, you saw the picture. Here we are again. Broke down. I didn't elaborate a whole lot in the video where we put the fuel pump on, but that was not the problem. Something is in that tank, I think, besides that piece of plastic I keep talking about. A lot of jostling around, moving around here lately. I guess I've knocked something loose maybe, but I ran it probably 6-7 hours after we put the fuel pump on, and I blew the tank out. Everything was fine, and I got down here and was doing some just a little bit of knocking this hump off here and filling some in, and I was really bouncing around, and it started acting up again, and I couldn't make it up to the shop, so we're down here working on it. I'll show you what we got rigged up over here. Probably gonna get a little loud. I got the generator on. So we borrowed the fuel pump that I put on the other day off of the loader, and I'm trying to drain the tank. I've got probably 10-12 gallons left in there. Try to get as much out as I can. Just got that running off the battery, and the generator's charging the batteries. And then I've got to pull the petcock, or not petcock, but sediment bowl loose there, and see if I can tell if I get any goo out of it. I'm thinking about taking a pressure washer and try to wash the inside of it out or something. I don't know. When you take this loose, turn it on, it's just barely dribbling out. So we've definitely got some kind of issues in the tank itself. If I can't get it fixed, I'll probably end up putting something back here. I've got aluminum fuel cell that came out of a boat. I think I might tie up here some way to get me through these beautiful days, and then we'll just pull it off this winter. But hoping I can get it cleaned out. But stay tuned, we'll let you know what we come up with. Well, naturally, Nelson erased the good clip that I needed where I showed the piece of plastic in the sediment bowl. So I'm putting this one in before what you're getting ready to see. Talking about the sediment bowl, the camera battery actually went dead. But it was almost like you had rolled that piece of plastic like a straw and stuck it right in the top of the sediment bowl where it screws up into the tank. And I think that was creating a lot of the issues. I think if the fuel was, I don't really know, because I'm not going to get into that. You'll see more in the rest of the video. So we'll carry over now into the originally filmed clip and bring you back soon. I'm sorry about that. My battery went dead in the camera. We're going to put an elbow in place of this. I think I said that before the camera cut off. Put a valve and then a filter so that if something happens, I can blow air straight up in there. This sediment bowl top actually doesn't have, it trickles out the sides instead of the middle. So it's not really a good way to get airflow through there. The guy actually, carried a can of computer cleaner on it, who we got it from. And he said when it acted up, you'd have to spray up in there. And I really thought I had this problem solved. Thought it was something else, but me and my dad were talking. I put that new fuel pump on there. And I really haven't done any heavy duty clearing since I did that. Not the one we just saw in the video, but probably been about a year ago maybe. And I think it probably pumps a little more fuel. So it probably had a little more strength to suck this down in that petcock just the way it was. But that's amazing. Should run like a brand new one now if I can get the rest of that out. Wow. All right, we'll bring you back tomorrow, guys. All right, well, we got the valve in, we got the elbows in. It's been 3 or 4 days since the last clip you saw where we found the plastic and the sediment bowl and stuff, and rigged all that back up, got the tank back on it, hooked everything up, expecting to just go after it, and couldn't get it to crank. Wasn't getting any smoke out of the stack, so I wasn't getting any fuel. I thought maybe it was, you know, had some air in the system where I had everything loose, you know, up to the injection pump basically. So I bled it a couple of times. I actually had a filter in the line in there. I took that out, thought that might have been restricted. I'm getting plenty of fuel through the big fuel filter back down to where the line goes in the ejection pump, and I actually got it to start smoking and actually crank up 2 or 3 different times, and then it died right back after that. So I'm not real sure what's going on. I've got an idea of what happened. I'll explain a little bit of that here in a minute. I hope I didn't do too much catastrophic damage and we can get this unit back going, so stay tuned. I don't see how you guys do this holding the camera out and walking like this. Need to find my selfie stick again, but probably out of breath. I don't smoke anymore though. Walking all the way back up here to the shop to get fuel line that I had laying in the back of the truck 3 or 4 days ago that I forgot to put in this morning. Got the worst case of CRS ever, I think. If you know, you know. Anyway, let me get the fuel line. Just kill a little bit of time again talking. Seems like that's all I've done in this video. But I'll explain what it is that I think I did, and hopefully I didn't do too much damage. Fingers crossed. So now that I know that the tank's not blocked and I've got plenty of fuel coming out, I can just leave the fuel pump on the loader here and put my external hose and drain that tank. It doesn't have but about probably 7 or 8 gallons of fuel in it, so that's a good thing. So that's what we're in the process of doing. Shouldn't take too long. This pump's pretty good, and once I get that drained, then we'll take the return line loose. Thank goodness I didn't put the covers back on over there the other day. But anyway, we'll put the return line back on, or take it off rather, and I'm gonna blow air through that tube in the tank and see if that indeed is the case, and then if so, then we'll track it back from there. I mean, I don't know what kind of damage I could do blowing air back into the injection pump. I'm sure I can blow seals and stuff out, so that's a very good possibility of what happened. But if so, it's another one of those valuable lessons learned. I wing everything. See, just for reference, I mean, I've got plenty of fuel coming out of the tanks. I mean, we got that problem solved with the plastic, but idiot me. So we're gonna let that drain, and we've got to pull the return line loose right there at the pump, and I don't know what. Well, there's the spot. I don't know whether to try to take it all loose from the top of the injectors. That's probably what I need to do, I guess. I don't know. Something so simple can turn into such a nightmare. But I do have a surprise. We've been talking about that temporary permanent fix on the starter. Look what I have. We have a starter button. We'll try to take the key switch out, see how long this one lasts. It's a little more robust, I guess. But you know, like I said, the radiator is right here behind this, so everything in here gets hot. But we're gonna try this. What basically happened was the tumblers, I think, got warm and quit making contact. So we're gonna try the starter button. Got the toggle switch over there. We just flip on and off for the pump. So I'm gonna try to get this out. This dash is a pain to get out. And see if I can get this over and run some new wires down the starter and finally have another start button. It's getting aggravating the other day in the dark trying to start it with a wire. Yeah, what a mess this electrical is back here. I had forgotten that. So I piggybacked off the ignition switch over to the toggle switch for the fuel pump, and I really don't have time to mess with this. All this needs to be redone. So all we're going to do with this switch is do the same thing that I did before, which is just jump the starter. We're just going to have a push button up here. So there's no power on anything. I got to disconnect. So no big deal. It's the same concept. We're going to roll with it. I couldn't take the switch out, so I had to drill me another hole over here. So we're going to get this tightened up, get some wires run down there. I want to show you something. I did make a trip to the man store this morning, Harbor Freight. Let you in on a little secret, or I think it's pretty good, especially with the way times are right now. But bring you back in a minute. Okay, so what I do when I'm needing some wire, Lord, I can't even talk this morning. When I'm needing some wire, Harbor Freight has these trailer wiring kits. I think they are $14.99, I think. And if you're a Track Club member, a lot of times you can catch them on sale. But basically, in a nutshell, it's between 10 and 12 gauge wire, really good wire. And you get 4 25-foot pieces. Different colors, of course, but we're not worried about colors. So instead of buying a roll of wire for probably $20+, I'll just do this. Some of them are together. Like I'll probably take this green and blue. Or green and brown. Like I said, I'm not worried about color. Some of you are. If you are, this is not going to work for you. But you know, that's doubled up wire, 25 feet of it. So basically, you're saving bukus of money with what wire is nowadays for especially 12 gauge wire, 10 to 12 gauge wire. So it's a little inside tip. That's what I usually do. I found this really good wire, so we're gonna see if we can get this wired up and go from there. Make a mess here on camera. Plus, oh, I forgot, the benefit is you get a male and a female trailer plug in with the package, so can't beat that, because those are $7, $8 a piece by themselves. So just a little insider tip there. Pro tip, as the Lampley brothers say. I don't know if there's anything pro about stuff I do, but we'll say that anyway. Well, that sure is nice. So we're good. Toggle switch over here, push button there, good to go. Well, we got all the fuel drained out and switch is in. So now I'm going to see if I can get this, see if I can show you over here, the turn line from under the tank. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the return line goes in right there. So I'm going to take that loose first, and I'm going to blow air from that tube that I blew in the other day and see if it comes out right there, so that I know I was on the return line. And then we'll just kind of trace it down from there. I think I'm going to pull it loose here, and then pull it loose before it ever gets the injectors up there, and blow through it. And if I got clear there, then I guess I'll take it off the top of the injectors and loosen the pump, blow everything out, and make sure that there's no clog or anything, because you know, this old tank isn't the best. I don't know if I showed, probably can't see it without my light. But I mean, it's not, well, you can't see anything, I don't know why I'm showing you that, but it's not rusty, but it's got some crud in it. So if some crud was in there, you know, kind of sitting in that return, and I blew it all back up towards the lines, I mean, it could have clogged something up, because that's really the only thing that's changed. That's what, you know, nothing was wrong with the pump. It was all just starving for fuel. You know, you let it sit, let a little fuel drain down through that plastic tube and get back in the lines, and it'd run for a second or two. And then if I blew air up through it and moved that plastic, it would run. So there's nothing wrong with the pump, nothing wrong with my elbow and valves, same setup as the sediment bowl. Didn't put any more restrictions on it. It's just not getting fuel, so for whatever reason it's just not cycling back through. I don't know, it's like deja vu all over again with that 1086 and that Ambic 100 pump. I crank up, did everything, blew all the lines out, didn't really feel any kind of clog or anything. Put it all back together, put fuel in it, cranked it over. I was getting smoke right off the bat, fired up, ran for about 10 seconds and then just died, just like you cut the switch off. And now we don't have any smoke at all, so it's not getting fuel again for some reason. Yeah, I'm getting nothing. I don't know. I don't know what in the world could be different. Wow. I'm not a diesel mechanic. I guess I can't complain though. It's been a good one up to this point. Well, here it is, guys, in the barn. Been a minute since I did any filming. It's been kind of a hectic afternoon. I'll throw a card up here. The 180 earned her keep today, pulling this thing up out of the bottom. Crank up long enough to keep the bucket off the ground. That's about it. I think I'm going to have to pull the injection pump off, and I don't know, combination of the lack of fuel supply from that piece of plastic and sediment bowl, and then I think today the reason I couldn't get it running, the line that comes from the tank up here evidently has got a hole in it somewhere, and it was just, when I could never get it pure fuel. It was always just like air bubbles, and if it's been running like that for a long time, it's probably eat up the stuff inside the pump. So I don't know what else to do other than pull the pump off and send it off and see what happens. I talked to Mr. Tim Flegel today a couple of times, and of course he's the one that said to run this line around there like that, to see if, to eliminate it, to see, and sure enough that solved the problem with the air bubbles. I got pure fuel, but that's the only way it would run. So nothing wrong with return lines. I think it's just the luck of the draw of how things worked out. So it is what it is. We're going to shut this one down for now. Might make a video on the injection pump on the loader. We've done one on the 1086, but I'm not going to do anything but pull this one off and send it off. Well, sorry about the lighting, guys. Probably awful, but anyway, I'm pretty aggravated. I'm just going to call it a day and go into the house. We're going to have to pull the injection pump off. Like I said, it's probably in dire need of it regardless. Has lost quite a bit of power over the years, so I don't know if, you know, that fuel line having a hole in it or sucking air from somewhere has been like that for a long time, and it's caused a bunch of cavitation to mess up things in the pump. But I do know that once I put the external line on it and turned the electric fuel pump on, it was pure fuel like it was supposed to be. I never could get that out of it, so it was definitely an issue. Thank you for that, Tim. We'll see what happens. I might make a video. Like I said, I'm not going to attempt to tear into it at all myself. We're just going to send that one off and let them deal with it and go from there. It's in the barn. It's safe and sound now. So the only drawback to that is I have nothing to pick up or load anything with now. I don't know. Me and the wife's been doing a lot of debating about some things on the upgrade, but it won't be anything drastic, I don't think. But I've got to get something with a loader, and with the daughter being married now, I'm trying to con her into coming up here and helping me more because she's got a little bit more time. But you know, that's going to take a cab and some air conditioning and a place to keep her little dog, so we'll see what happens. But really appreciate everything, guys. I know the content hasn't been great over the last couple of videos and probably won't be for a while. It's a lot of shop work and a lot of projects, but hopefully you'll continue to stay tuned and follow the journey with me, and we'll see what happens. Until next time, thank you.